I'm explaining Linux file permissions. These commands look small, but these are essential ones. So if you're working as a DevOps engineer or Linux system admin, you must know these commands. So let's dive in. I already connected to one of my Linux machines. So if I do ls-l, now we can see the permissions on directory as well as files. So this file, I just copied everything here. So from that command, so you got the output this like this. So rwx, so we can give permissions, read, write and execute. We can use letters or numbers as well. So if you want to use number combination, you need to read stands for 4, w for 2, executable for 1. So I'm gonna explain these as well. So if you look the file permission here, so we got the secret.txt. so we got like this one. So the first one for user, second one for group, and third one for others. And here you can see user and group and the file name. So let's understand them deeply. So here we can see read permissions for others. So because if you're not part of the group, or if you're not part of the if you're not the user, so you're gonna get others permissions. So in this case, you're not the root and you're not the group, because if I look here, if I run the command omi, so you are logged in as the Ubuntu user, but here this is the user and this is the group. So you're not part of the group or you're not part of the user, so that means you're others. So how you can assign the permissions? Basically, if you want to remove the permissions for others, what you need to do, just be a sudo user first and then run the command chmod. So then if you want to give permission for others 0 permissions, and you want to keep the other permissions for users and group as is, so what you can do, rw, as I said, rw we got, that means 4 plus 2 6. This is for user, and for the group you got only read permissions. So you want to keep it like that only. The read means 4, and you want to remove the permissions, all the permissions for others, then put 0. So one is user, group, others, the left to right order, user, group, others. So if you run this command and give it a file name, now run the ls-l again. Now you don't have permission for others. So you're logged in as a Ubuntu user, you're not part of the root, or you're not part of the group, right? You're not part of the root group. You can run the command groups, I think. Yeah, groups, you can see the output. So this is a user, root user, that's why you can see that. But if I exit it, if I run omi, I'm Ubuntu user now. If I run groups, I'm not part of the root groups. I'll be part of only I'm just part of these groups only. If I try to see the content of that file, now we got secret.txt, the file permission denied, because if we run the ls-l again, because I don't have, others are not do not have any permissions on this file. And let's change the group to Ubuntu. Okay, what you can do, actually, you can run the command sudo and then run the command chmod, chgrp. Actually, you can run the command chown as well, chown. So you want to keep the user as is, and then user as is, and then group to Ubuntu, and then file name. Now if I do, let's do ls-l again. Now you can see the group has permissions, because the group got read permissions, so we can read it. See, because we are part of the group, the Ubuntu user is part of the Ubuntu's group. You can see it here. So if you remove the permission for the group as well, what you can do, just sudo and then chmod, change permissions, and then I'm gonna keep it 6 for user to read, write, and others I want to remove, group and others 0 permissions. So I forgot to give the file name. Okay, now you can run the command chmod ls-l. Only user got read-write permissions. Group and others do not have any permissions. So even though I'm part of the group, if I try to read it, yeah, it says permission denied. So this is crucial. It looks simple and sometimes it looks complicated, but it's an easy one. You just need to practice multiple times. So let me make another user. For instance, you're working on a project, so just create a directory under root. I'm going to say DevOps. Okay, you already have got one, that's fine. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a user Madhu, and then press Y. Now let's log into this Linux machine from another terminal and then switch it to Madhu user. So just do, if you want to get the public IP, you can go to AWS, you can get it from here. So we are already connected to our machine. We can do curl space ifconfig.me to get the public IP. Okay, this is the public IP we got. I just wanted to show you this command how to use as well, that's why. Okay, let's jump back to terminal again. SSH Ubuntu, my bad. Put the public IP 44.200.224.42. Be a sudo user first. You don't need to be actually. You can run su madhu and the password for that user. Okay, you can run the command who am I. So if you do ls-l slash, now we created this DevOps folder or directory over here. So this one, who owns it? Root owns it, and others have read and write, read execute permissions. A group and others have. So let's change that owner and group to DevOps. So for that we need to create a group first. So command add group space and the group name. Only root. Okay, let's be here sudo add command add group DevOps. Okay, I already have that. So I need to change the permissions on this folder, right? This one. Sorry, the ownership. So I want to own it to user group as well, and then group to DevOps. So let's change that. What you can do, chown. So I'm gonna put -r capital. That means recursively that folder inside that whatever the folder files you're gonna create, inside that everything you're gonna have the same. Recursively means inside everything you can have same permission. So I'm gonna make it as user. Do I have Ubuntu user? No, we don't have. Sorry, we don't have DevOps user. So what I can do, I'm gonna keep it root for user, and the group I'm gonna put it as DevOps, and the directory name, that's slash DevOps, right? Okay, if I run ls-l again with slash, I can see DevOps group owns this directory and user is root. Now what I'm gonna do, and then what happens actually, let me show you. We created a group DevOps. Okay, this is our group. So we are going to put Madhu inside that group. Okay, that user Madhu. So Madhu automatically gets permissions, whichever the permissions the DevOps group has, so he can get that. So that's what we are doing. So now we need to change. If I click on here, if I look for groups, so this Madhu user is part of Madhu and users group only. So if let's first remove the permissions on that. So ls-l, so that's a slash DevOps. Okay, just remove the permissions for others and others as well as group. sorry, I just remove the permissions for others first now. So the command chmod read execute for group. I'm going to put all the permissions for you owner, and the group is going to have read and write, and then others 0 permissions on DevOps directory. So if I run this again, now others do not have any permissions, and group has read and write, and the owner has the root rwx, that read, write and execute permissions. So this is how we can use numbers to add them, and we can use these letters as well. I'll show you that. So now if I go back here, if I want to see the content of this slash DevOps directory, it says permission denied because you're not part of the DevOps group, and others do not have any permission. That's why you're not able to see anything inside that folder. So I'm gonna add you chmod-ag, so that's a modify user. I'm gonna add DevOps group, so I'm gonna add Madhu to DevOps group now. Oh sorry, user mod actually. Now if I rerun that command, let me exit and then switch to Madhu again, ls-l/DevOps. Now I can see that. So earlier it said permission denied, but now we are able to see. So this is how you can get the you can get permissions. You can change the permissions, and you can change the ownership with the chmod command. Okay, chmod ch1. Okay, let's use the letters for that. So if you want to do the same for same with letters, what you can do, slash DevOps. Okay, just slash, right? So this one, what you can do, you can it could be a directory or file, doesn't matter. So let's create a file. So we already do have that file, so secret.txt. So if you want to give permission rwx executable permission to user, what you can do, chmod, you can u plus you can add rwx, for instance, and the file name. So if you do ls-l, now user got rwx. If you want to give permission to group, what you can do, just put g for group. Now we get the permissions. For others if you want to do the same, just put o for others. Okay, if you are confused with the numbers, but once you get used to numbers, then you it's going to be easier. Of course this one is easier as well. Doesn't matter which way you can do, it's going to work the same way. So if you want to remove the permissions, what you can do, if I want to remove permissions for user, I want to remove write and execute. I just want to keep read only, then give the file name. Now this user has only read only permission because we removed write and execute. So this way you can run for others by using O, for group G. So this way you just you can try to practice them. So these are crucial commands, because whenever you want to for instance, if I write a script, so I like to use cat command, so I'm going to say script.sh. so this extension doesn't matter in Linux, but just for us to humans to understand that this is a shell script, so we put sh, so it doesn't matter actually. And then I'm gonna write it, we call it shebang. Okay, /bin bash, and let me run the command echo welcome to Linux, for instance, and then I'm gonna write it to a file /home ubuntu hello.txt, and then Control C, Control L for clear. If I do ls now, I can see that file. So if you want, if I do ls-l, Now I can see that script.sh has these permissions. So if I want to if I want to make it executable, for instance, if you want to run any executable file, you can put dot and slash and give the path. So in this case I do have the file here only, so it's not going to autofill it because it's not an executable one. So it says permission denied because it doesn't have any executable permission, right? So if I want to add a executable permission, I'm going to do +x. If I do +x, it's going to apply to all the user, group and others, because I'm not specifying is to any user or any group or others. So if I don't give any specific thing, it's going to apply for all user, group and others as well. So and then script. If I do ls-l now it is executable for all the users. Then if I run, it's going to autofill now if I press tab, because it's executable now. And then so that's executed. If I do ls, that hello.txt has been created because that script ran successfully. So this is how we can do, because what you do usually, you for instance, you download something from the internet, maybe you can make your own command, and then for let's try that. So if I want to run something, so let's jump back here. So I'm gonna say simple Python script to print table, takes table number while running the code. For instance, I'm just taking an example because it doesn't matter which program. Maybe you could use bash or something else. Maybe you can write complex code. I'm just for testing it. So if I go back here, if I do table, so I'm not going to give any extension, it doesn't matter in Linux. So paste it, and Control C. Let me check the code again. Table number, it says okay, that's fine. If I run this command, what I'm going to do actually, I'm gonna say use Python. Okay, I'm gonna say /bin, it could be I think Python 3, let's see. So modified it, and then if I'm gonna make it as executable, chmod +x and the file name, and then dot and slash and the file name. Okay, it says table input, syntax error, unexpected token. Maybe let me run the command which Python, or which Python 3 actually. So okay, it's located inside this one. So let's edit our file. Instead of this, I'm gonna say slash, let me paste it and remove this slash. Now rerun that, because that's a Python file, so it needs Python again. That's fine. What I'm gonna do, I like to execute in Linux as a command. So this way you can do it. Just gonna copy it, replace it with you can use cat command, paste it, and Control C. Now rerun that file. So it's gonna ask, maybe if I go for table number 5, so it says that. So this is how you can make something executable. Then if I go back to any other folder, so if I'm here, if I want to run the table, it's not gonna work, right? Because we don't have that file here. So let's jump back to that home again, that Ubuntu again, to ls-l. So you can make this one as a command as well. What you need to do, you can move table to /user local and bin. So if you put any executable file inside this directory, it's going to act as a command. So the name should be, if you put sh, then you need to put sh. So in our case, we just give it a plain name table. That's fine. Now if I go to any directory, it doesn't matter. If I do ls here, I don't have that file table here, but still I can run it as a command from here. See, even as other user as well. Here, okay, let me reconnect. And run the command table. This is how you can execute. Of course, I chose this one for the example's sake. It could be any script. Maybe the script is going to look for something, CPU utilization, or it doesn't matter. It could be any script. So this is how you can you need in order to make these ones. So you need to know file permissions and what are the owners and groups and everything. So I hope this helps. I think I made it a bit complicated, but just try to rewatch it, then you will get this. Just practice is the key to understand everything. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. If it is confusable, please let me know in the comments. So maybe I'll try to make it simple. If I make any in further lectures, I'll try to make it simple. Thank you so much for watching.